The Skyhawk-class aircraft carrier was a first-class aircraft carrier refitted by Italy during World War II, with a total of 2 ships. It was originally intended to be used to reverse the unfavorable operational situation in the Mediterranean region, but before it could be delivered and put into use, it was damaged by explosives and dismantled after the war. As early as the meetings held after World War I, Italy was allocated a capacity of 60,000 tons for aircraft carrier construction. However, at that time, aircraft carriers were not highly valued, and all countries were still in the theoretical stage and did not have real operational support. Therefore, countries such as France and Italy did not attach much importance to aircraft carrier construction, but instead focused more on battleships. By the 1930s, Italy revived the aircraft carrier construction plan, but it was terminated at the planning stage due to the outbreak of World War II. In order to make concessions for the war, the construction of aircraft carriers had to be temporarily shelved, with the focus being on how to transport more troops and supplies to North Africa. The British originally had hopes for Italy and did not know its true intentions. They hoped to offer Italy benefits in Africa to maintain neutrality, but Italy believed that it did not need to be at the mercy of the British and could use force to take what it wanted. This put the two sides at odds. To gain control of the Mediterranean, the British Navy urgently deployed the aircraft carrier, Glorious, and some warships to the Mediterranean. Originally, they hoped to lure Italy out of port with a small fleet and then launch an airstrike, but the experienced Italian naval commander did not agree to the Navy leaving the protection of the land-based Air Force. The Royal Navy had no choice but to boldly plan a surprise attack on Taranto, deciding to take a gamble. On November 11, 1940, during this grand Double 11 celebration, the Italian Navy, which had not bought anything, hit the jackpot. The Royal Navy, led by the aircraft carrier, Glorious, sent torpedoes and aerial bombs to the Italian port of Taranto, sinking a main battleship and severely damaging 3 others at the cost of 2 Swordfish carrier-based aircraft and the expenditure of 11 torpedoes and over 50 aerial bombs. After the surprise at Taranto, the Italian Navy was stricken with fear of the Air Force, and anti-aircraft guns were deployed quite densely. They installed 8 135mm dual-purpose guns, 12 65mm anti-aircraft guns, and 22 6-barrel 20mm anti-aircraft guns. With such a dense anti-aircraft firepower, it could still play a significant role in dealing with the slower Swordfish carrier-based aircraft. In addition, the designer also equipped the aircraft carrier with an 80mm thick armored deck and a rare EC-3 early warning radar. It can be seen that if the Skyhawk-class aircraft carriers were able to enter service, they would still have a significant deterrent effect. At the very least, the Allies would need to deploy more naval and air power to counter them. By the time Italy switched sides in 1943, the Skyhawk was almost completed, while the Sparrowhawk had already been left unfinished. Italian naval vessels became the focus of the warring parties, and the Allies successfully bombed the Skyhawk with their air force, preventing the Germans from continuing construction. Even if the aircraft carriers were successfully completed, their commissioning and combat effectiveness would not be easy. Firstly, Italy had no experience in using aircraft carriers, and as a completely new operational system, Italy needed time to adapt, a process that would take at least several months. Secondly, Italy lacked suitable carrier-based aircraft. An aircraft carrier requires a reasonable combination of carrier-based fighters, attack aircraft, reconnaissance aircraft, and other types, but Italy was also lacking in this area, so even if they were successfully commissioned, they would not be very effective. After the war, Italy planned to salvage the Skyhawk and repair it for commissioning, but the people were tired of war after the Great War and did not support this action. A few years later, the wreckage of the 2 aircraft carriers were dismantled.